Hello beautiful people, welcome back. In this video, I'm going to show you how to use gyroscope precisely for close range and if that's gonna take your gameplay to the another level or not. But first, make sure to smash the like button. Let's try to hit 40 likes, make it 50 if possible. Anyway, let's begin. There are some players who plays with gyroscope and then there are some players who doesn't. Well, there is nothing mandatory for anyone. But with the help of gyroscope you can move the targets without swiping your thumb on your phone screen and therefore, you can have a better reflexes when you engage with multiple opponents at the same time. But again, it's not mandatory. If you are non-gyro player and you are satisfied with your performance, then do not switch to gyro. But those who wants to improve their performance should absolutely use or switch to full gyro. Because to get something you never had, you have to do something you never did. Anyways, now I will give you some tips on using gyro in the close range and as well as its benefits. So tip number 1. As we all know that our aiming in the close range is a crucial part, right? Using gyro in close range really helps a lot, like it doesn't even matter with how many fingers you play. Gyro makes it easier to adjust your aim by just moving the device and of course, without taking any help from any of your fingers. Even if you are a thumb player, gyroscope will make your job easier, like you don't need to drag your thumb on the screen. And instead, you can use that thumb for some other functions, like for fast crouch movements. It makes your gameplays look faster and even professional. But most importantly, it improves your performance by a far. Movements like screen shake, fast crouch, jiggle, and jump shots are actually easy as a full gyro player. Tip number 2. The use of gyroscope in the close range is clear, as we know that every opponent we face never stands still, right? Every single one of them does the jiggle movement for example. So, to track their movement as a non-gyro player, we need to drag our thumb rapidly, but maximum time you will not be able to track it. But as a full gyro player, the tracking level increases legitimately to another level. It is important to note that higher the sensitivity, lesser the accuracy and better the control of recoil and vice versa. Therefore you'll need to figure out if you're willing to engage in more up-close encounters where your hip fire comes handy or if you'll take mid-range fights and transfer sprays onto your opponents. With full gyro, the hip fire aiming and your crosshair placement becomes so accurate and apart from that, you can do various other movements to dodge bullets. Because in close range, you don't need to tap on scope, so you will have an extra finger to do anything you want with that. But again, it's not that easy as it looks. You need practice, and of course, it is not as hard as non-gyro. Yes, you heard me right. Controlling recoil as a non-gyro is tough. But gyroscope makes it a lot better if you have a perfect sensitivity according to your device. Tip number 3. Again with the advent of professionals in Pubg mobile domain, there is always a thing or two you can learn from them. Players around the world have figured out different strategies and game style to match to the current level of competitiveness in order to sustain and keep themselves relevant in rapidly changing times. Change is merely a challenge to a set of doing things, a push to get out of your comfort zone and go into an unfamiliar territory. We all remember how Scout popularized the use of gyroscope among the Indian competitive and casual players after he came back playing the PMSC 2018. And very recently Jonathan has come up with his famous jiggles that can outfox even the best of players. Tip number 4. For an effective recoil control using gyroscope your phone needs to be stable so that you get a good grip and avoid any kind of shakiness while transferring sprays. If you're a beginner who has felt the need to shift to gyroscope because of the rise in competition even in classic lobbies, you should probably start off with M416 without attachments. And try to hit close and far moving targets with different scopes on, since it is relatively easier to control the recoil of the gun. Try using gyroscope in your close combats, and surely you will find some improvements later. It will take you max to max a week to master, or to be good at using gyro. Anyways, so now you have watched the whole video, make sure to subscribe, because it would mean the world to me. Anyway, now enjoy my potato gameplay, peace.
Form up on me. Help! Form up on me. Search for vehicles. Form up on me.